Howdy, folks. Welcome back to the shed once more. Let's see who's in for today's edification. I hope everybody's well. Just give me a shout in the chat if you can hear me, see me okay. Always helpful. Who do we have in the chat? We've got Maura King. Hello, Maura. Colin Mikes. Hello, Colin. Grandpa Rouse. Hi, JD. There's Mick, the royal barkeeper. Mine's a large one. Simon Trains, nice to see you. Chuck Schreiber, welcome in and good morning. Dara's Locomotive Shed. Apparently it's a very pleasant day in Ireland, so that's good. That's really good. Can see and hear. Excellent. Yes, I've already started. Things are rolling this morning. An Americano flavour. I've got my trusty Baldwin 460 right here. That should be extending past you any second now. Yes, this one I popped a Lock Sound 5 into that, and with a suitable Baldwin-y type sound file, which you can extract from the ESU website. Yeah, so that's good. And the Rio Grande 260, which I put a wow sound into that one, which it's got a few eccentricities, but yeah, it's a really good sound file, plenty loud. I've had to actually tone it down a bit because it is a bit raucous, nice and clear, but the volume was just too much for me. And there's Clive. Hello, Clive. Nice to see you. Nice. Yes. What's the weather like today? Overcast. A little bit chilly. 50 around the 50s degrees, 10 degrees centigrade, 12 degrees centigrade, something like that. Not fantastic. I did see Anthony Dodge pretty early on in the chat, so a very good day to you, Anthony. 2 superb live streams that we are extremely grateful for. Yes, the heat is going, so things are warming up nicely. These 2 locos are effectively silent. Good motors, one from Bachmann, one from Athearn. They can just tickle around with almost no sound without the DCC help, of course. There's Greg. Hello, Greg. I know you're getting some side effects, so it's typing can be a bit strenuous. So yeah, I understand that, Greg. So all power to your elbow, as they say. And so I've got 2 running on one track, and the third on the other line is a River Rossi. You can probably just see it around about there. Look, I'm pointing. Look. So you can just see the nose there of the Hudson. And that one. Donegal Dad Rail. There's Mark. Hello, Mark. Lurking in the background, wiring the layout. Yes, I know the feeling of DC running through your veins. Indeed, yes, I've had many a 50-volt jolt, to coin a phrase. Yes, that's a River Rossi Hudson with, and somebody in their infinite wisdom had actually, there's Stormy Sky Rail Productions. I'm not sure if that's Dave or Steve. So if you want to pop that in, we can identify you. And Ivo. So the disassembled wreck still hasn't been foxed. That's a bit of a head scratcher, that one. You might have to explain that one, Ivo. Tim, very good afternoon to you. What's the stream? Having a go at painting back scenes. Well, that's a tough one. That really is. There are people on YouTube that make it look easy. It wouldn't be for me, so best avoided. March West Junction, Andy. A very good afternoon to you, Andy. I hope you're well. What happened since we last caught up? Yes, there was the aftermath of Alexandra Palace. Lots and lots of people did videos there. I mean, I didn't, because obviously I'm looking for things, looking for people. Moneybrook Junction, Mark, and there's Happy Valley, Edward. Very good afternoon, good morning to you. And Zantek, there's Mark. Hello, Mark. Nice to see you. Southern Cross, welcome in. Nice to see you. So yes, it's there were things I bought from there which were pretty good, actually. I've since made a couple of eBay purchases, one of which has worked out. I won't go into too much detail. Oh, Mike at Pudham Junction. Hello, Mike. Hope you are well, and I hope Sue's well as well. That almost rhymes there. How about that? Yes, the teeth are in. I haven't seen Dwight Curley this morning, and it is. Oh, it's Dave. Hello, Dave. Nice to see you. Dave Nitch. So that's on Dave's other. Yeah, I'm sure you understand. Yeah, so there's the aftermath of Alexandra Palace. Lots of people to see, lots of bits. What's the steamer trundling around? Right. Okay, just to my left, which is this way. No, that way. Just coming into picture now is a Bachmann low boiler Baldwin 460 in Southern 1006, as it's emboldened on the tender. And on the same track, at a not so equal spacing, there's also an Athen 260, which will be coming around with the orangey yellow Rio Grande color scheme. So yes, an Americano flavor today. For those of you that were on last week's, I did debut the Atlantic that I bought, which is a Broadway Limited Imports engine. It's a 442 wheel arrangement, known as is it the K6? I think it's the K6. Yeah, in Pennsylvania livery. So it's got the Tuscan red roof and tender appointments on the top. The one from Ali Pali, yeah. And I met Simon at Ali Pali. We'd never met before. Obviously, so that's Denver and Rio Grande Western. Yes, that's what I was looking for. And Ali Pali was great. There was Simon, there was Peter Dixon, there was Robert, and Colin. It was wonderful. Addy Pullen. Hello, Addy. How lovely to see you. And a very good afternoon to you. I hope the weather is treating you kindly. Here comes the Denver and Rio Grande Western 260, which has the wow sound chip shoehorned into the tender, and I do mean shoehorned. There's not much room in there. They're very small tenders on the smaller American locomotives, and it was a faff getting it in there. And I don't particularly like the way that Athen Roundhouse designed it. So cold in Derby. Oh, well, it's not hot here, Addy. I mean, it really isn't. It's overcast. There may be a rain in the air, but nothing substantial. It's just one of those middling middling days. Not really hot, not really cold, not too windy. It's just one of those kind of days. 41 in the chat and 17. Get him, Grandpa. Uh, so if everybody would like to twiddle on that little like button with a thumbs up, that would be most appreciated. You haven't tried fitting something in the BR24 tender or any other German 3-axle? No, it's tough. It's tough fitting things in where hitherto they weren't expected to go. Things like stay alive capacitors and boards, speakers. It was never thought about when these models were in production as pure DC. It's only DC chips have come along later. This one actually has a DCC connector in it, but it's an American, really strange 9-pin connector, which is quite prevalent that they use in America. So that was why I went for the wow sound, because it has this 9-pin connector and can go straight in. And even with that, it was quite a faff getting it in there. Now, one is catching the other, so I'm going to have to adjust the speed here a little. I can either slow one down or speed up the other. Let's speed up the other. So let me just recall through the trusty NCE power cap. There's number 597. I'll increase that 1 speed step, 2 speed steps. Let's get them roughly where they're supposed to be, and then I'll slow it down a bit. As you can probably hear, it's, even though it's tramping on a bit now, it's still not terribly noisy. Right, down to 11. That's 11 speed steps out of 128. And that seems to have done the trick. They are now at a constant distance from each other. JIS Connect, yeah, that's the one. That's the one, Ivo. Yeah, an odd-looking thing by my eyes. Our American friends will obviously know what they are, but yeah, different. And there's Charlie. A very good morning to you, Charlie. I hope you are well. And is there an experience of buying something from Rouse of Sheffield eBay shop? Yes. You're looking at it right there. That came from Rouse of Sheffield eBay shop. It's a River Rossi Hudson. It came with some rolling stock in a huge River Rossi box, and that was all bought from there. This was DCC fitted by a previous owner, and fortunately they put in a chip which could take the kind of power that an old River Rossi motor demanded. So there's a lot of Monday Club members here. Wait, don't mention that. No. Oh, there's Mr. Dwight Curley. As you will know, Dwight has his own show on a Sunday, which will come up 6 o'clock on UK time. I'm not sure what that is in the good old US of A, but I'm sure Dwight can put that in. The sun is out, the sky is blue. Sun is out, the sky is blue. Yeah, Buddy Holly. With a new iPhone rotating to vertical. Yeah, I did see that you were having a bit of trouble. Positive experience? Yes. Well, let's get it into operation. This one is a little more noisy, but then you'd expect it from a 1970s River Rossi 3-pole balls to the wall motor. I can't think of another analogy. Right, this one is still on 3, so let's get it moving. Any minute now, and there she goes. And as you can hear, it does growl a little. But true to form, there's a duplex and various cars that go along with it. And right on the end, there is the tucked-in ducktail coach on the end. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 coaches today. Attila Varga from Down Under. Very good evening to you, and I hope you are well and fizzing. So I'll leave it on roughly that setting. It's not a very high setting, but Rivarossi did make good motors in the past. Yeah, they did. It's still going after 70, 80, 90, 2000, 2010, 2020. There's 50 years. It's a 50-year-old motor and it's still going. Apart from some light oiling, that's all I had to do to it. And I'm really pleased with it. It doesn't waddle down the track or anything excessive. All of its appointments are all intact. And yeah, I was very pleased with it, having already had a DC version, which did waddle down the track and had various issues. This one, with its DCC chip, which can take the kind of current that that motor demands. There's Steve 87 PSAP. A very good morning to you. And Edward, of course, does his own show, which is way into the night. It's usually about, I think it'll be coming up 11:45 tonight. So I'm just listening for things to happen. If I don't keep my eye on what's going on, the ears tend to take over. So yes, everything seems to be working okay. Obviously, the motor on the Rivarossi will start warming up now and get a little more efficient. Man says successfully converted the Triang Princess to DCC. No reason why you can't, Charlie, but well done. Sounds official. Making a ukulele while watching, bracing the soundboard. That's a science in itself. Luthiery is definitely something I enjoy watching other people do. But yeah, it's great. I love watching guitar channels, amplifier channels. Fascinating science behind it all. Lost 2 hours due to daylight saving times. Lost an hour in the US, then lost an hour here in Italy. Yeah, that's pretty messed up, Steve. So 6:45 East daylight savings time. Yeah, okay, Edward. It's just an hour earlier for us here, which means rather than being a quarter to midnight, it's now 10:45. So yeah, a little easier. But then I don't have to get out for work in the morning. So work? What's that? John A. Dawson, 5x5. Thank you very much, and a very happy cheers to everybody. The Icelandic volcano erupts in 21. I was enjoying the live streams of the eruption. Yes, it's not something you see every day. Very interesting watching red hot magma spew from the earth. I hate work. The place is falling apart. Yeah. The ravages of time. Working second shift right now. Yes, I do feel sorry for you. I'd much rather enjoy retirement than toiling away. But there you go. That's another story. I've done my whack, as they say. And you have to stop sometime. And when your body's saying, I've had enough of this, you have to listen to your body. I mean, I've always done a pretty physical job, so I wasn't expecting it. It just crept up on me, and it said time to stop. So I did. Yes, nice Dreyfus Hudson, and very good afternoon to you, Christopher. Um, yes, the Riverossi example. It came in a plastic box, that one, and it came from Rouse of Sheffield. And I tried it. I liked it. It works. It's still working. Retired 6 years ago. Good on you, Mick. 2023, I fell off my truck at work. Pip was not very happy about that. Yeah. It rearranged itself on the landing. Yeah, it does have a habit of doing that kind of thing. Big shocks to the body. That's not good. It's not good. It's very physical work, taking orders from the wife. Yeah, it can be. My oldest working locomotive is from somewhere around 1965. Yeah, the good old days. I dare say even the German locomotives were a little more toy-like then. But knowing the Germans, they don't usually do things by halves. You know, when they all metal body Fleischmann. So there would have been a few deviations. Metal being difficult to work with. Fleischmann V60. Nice. Retire? I want a tyre first. Oh, you get tired all right, mate. A Lima Class 86 from the late 60s. It runs, sounds like a fighting cat when it runs. Yeah, well, it would do. There were lots of, what's the word I'm looking for? Lots of models made where they had to literally make the model around the motor. Things like that. A very good example of that is the Tyco Mantua 460 Sierra number 3. They made it in 00 scale instead of HO because the motor was just too big for the HO body. So they scaled it up a little bit and it could just fit in the appointments of the Sierra number 3 in 00 scale. So that's why it's in quite a bit bigger scale. Sparky 107. I did not see Sparky there. He must have crept past me. Very good morning to you, Dave. Yeah, got the hat on. No wasps in it this time because I have it hanging up on a hook up there. Quietest model I have is the EF220 when it gets running. There is the odd model. You wouldn't believe this, but one is now catching the other. So let me just drop that down one speed step. Not that one. Not that one. I'll drop that back down one speed step. And that should do the trick. Because one is now catching the other. It's always a problem. One is on 30 speed steps, the other is on 10. So trying to get those two to run together is not easy. Some of the old Lima engines, you don't need a sound decoder. No, you don't. It sounds like a barrel of nuts and bolts being rolled down a hill. But that's what you had at the time. That's what we used. That's what we knew. We didn't know any better. Did Bachmann ever make a Russian decapod? I believe they did. With full Russian numbering. Not sure about that. Or was the one I saw probably a modified one? Probably a modified one. I think the Russian decapods, they put in American livery. I believe. Any of my Kato steam locos are the quietest. I've only the sound of the wheels on the rails. Yeah, that's ideal. That's absolutely ideal, Christopher. It's but it's not always like that. Um, you go back in time, the motors are workmanlike. It's only now we're getting things like the Cavalex 56, which is really quiet. It literally started with when Hornby moved to China and they had a point to prove. Um, they had some really good can motors, good mechanism. They came up with the Clan line, which is a 462, and it was almost silent. And I stood there with my father and we looked at it and it was whisper quiet all the way around the layout. And it just knocked us bandy. We were absolutely speechless. Oh, cheers, everybody. That's just a plain old coffee. What can you do? Most silent one is my BR38 with a huge Bueller can motor inside. Well, I would think it's a can motor. But when they went from open frame motors into can motors, that's when things got a whole lot quieter. But let's get you down onto the track. I'm absolutely, all the floor is covered in footwear. All the footwear we usually have at a different part of the house has all been stuffed into the shed. So it's a bit like walking through a minefield at the moment. Dipole coreless are quiet as well. Yeah, coreless motors tend to, because of their lack of mass in their core, they tend to work better at higher speeds. So if you're going to expect your loco to go slow, you're going to have to gear it right down. And as long as they do that, that's fine. So the motor's already spinning really fast just to get a very low, smooth sound. But then they can rev up to 30,000 revs. So that will get the speed in the mid-range you're looking for, but it will also mean it's probably a little bit noisier at that speed. It's all, there's a give and take all the time. There's always this thing. Right, let's get you down on the track. Meanwhile, down on the track, there we are. That's a little bit on the low side. See if we can arrange a little loft on there. That's a little better. I've managed to put you on the track just as nothing was on there. Isn't that typical? But here comes a very dim headlight, but it's on. And there goes the backy. Then I'm sure Dwight will be familiar with these coaches. I figured out why some of the couplers are at different heights. There's a bit of a bend in these, the bit that juts out there. What would you call that? The veranda. Some of those are bent ever so slightly, which means that the couplers are either bent up or bent down. So a pair of pliers on there and a little manipulation might do the trick. Either that or you're going to have to go with upper or lower shelf KDs. Bode, yeah. You know that, Mark. Bode plastic is bad enough, but when it's Bode die cast, there's a good chance it will snap if you try and manipulate that. And here comes the very gentle running 260. And I think you'll agree that's almost absolutely silent. There's a fire going on in the back, isn't there? I certainly hope not. Yeah, Dwight, it's obviously a problem where they've glued it together without making sure the parts are straight. There's not many parts to an old roundhouse. There's just the basic chassis. Um, that tends to be a little wavy at some times. Then there's the body and the roof. That's really all there is to it. That and the trucks. Um, so yeah, it's when they make the two together. If they've cemented it in the wrong spot, or it's been done in haste and they haven't straightened out the chassis, you're going to get that trouble. Yeah, Anthony, that's the 20th Century Limited. You can always tell it because it's got those extra bands around by the windows. There's two extra, what would you call them, pinstripes in silver going literally through where the windows are. And that will tell you instantly if it's a 20th Century Limited. Yeah, it's nice to see a streamliner when it doesn't get photo bombed. There's the two pinstripes. It runs the entire length of the train. Will I be ordering the PRRS1? No, I won't be ordering it because we already have one. You mean the steam turbine, the S1? Yes, Richard bought that. It's a brass hybrid. And it's a monster. And it's got smoke. It's got four little chimneys up the top in a bunch of four. Really a fascinating looking thing. Amtrak train? Charlie, wash your mouth out. That's good old New York Central. Bowled by the Southern again. Yes, I'm sorry about that, Mark. It's that's what happens when you run three trains on two tracks. Yeah, Tom, it's that S1 was a mighty expensive engine. I'm glad I didn't have to fork out of my bank account for that one. That came with a heavy price on it. Yes, I must confess the New York Central system having this Dreyfus Hudson. Uh, what an iconic shape. Um, as a streamliner with its bullet type top part. Yeah, Mr. Dreyfus did a bang up job with that one. I particularly like the duplex there, which is, I believe, a sleeper. As you were probably reading, Kato have a very good reputation for very good scale models with excellent motors and a great trackage system. So anybody's ifing and anding over whether to get Kato, um, let me tell you, there's enough people out there that use it and like it uh, to make that Well, an irrelevant question, really, because it's, yeah, just grab it. I would suggest that if they were still running the 20th Century Limited when the E8s came around, they would have run it. Probably not with the original iteration of carriages, but with something probably broadly similar. Maybe heavyweights. Yeah, I think we can safely say that people like Marklin and Cato really know what they're doing. They don't mess around. On the times that they do, they quickly realise their errors and quickly put it right. First class model trains. So if anybody's in any doubt, you can't really go wrong with Marklin or Cato. It's just all the rest of the stuff we have to watch out for. Hornby can come out with gems, and they can equally come out with a turd. And really, it's a matter of read the reviews first and see what the general information is before you put your hand in your pocket. Which is a shame, but well, there you go. That's the price we pay sometimes. So I like to think I've enough experience now of various manufacturers to know broadly that a model is good or bad or indifferent. Well, if you've got Cato and Marklin, you can't really go wrong there. You can see by the effectiveness of Anthony's trains and Tom's trains that it's really good stuff. Reliable, looks great, runs great. What more do you actually need? And for those that enjoy DCC sounds, it's all there. Oh, I didn't say that, Attila. I have no problem waxing lyrical about the goodness of Cato and Marklin. Doesn't mean I'm going to do it, but it's out there. And if people haven't made up their mind, I'm happy to foster their interest in such things. For me, I'll be sticking with my DCC and my little trains. Things like this 260, they are little trains. A diminutive size of locomotive and rolling stock, and I'm really very fond of it, particularly what you would term Wild West, and I suppose up until about the 1920s. And I believe Alan Reynolds at Bunker Junction has joined us. A very good afternoon to you, Alan. I hope the weather is a bit more pleasant than it is for the rest of our fine country. And I hope that the White Cliffs of Dover are still shining. Deal Harbour Model Railway. A very good afternoon, and thank you for joining us. I'll give you a brief synopsis of what's running. There's a River Rossi DCC converted Dreyfus Hudson, and from behind you will be coming a Bachmann 460 low boiler Baldwin locomotive in Southern flavour. And then halfway round the track, you'll also see an Athon 260 of a similar vintage, running some Rio Grande Western stock. Not new, just renamed my channel. Oh, I understand. What were you before? And there's Roy Dennis. Hello, Roy. I did see you earlier, and I completely forgot to give you a shout out. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is Roy Dennis, a long-time proponent of model railways pleasure, and still hammering away at some highly technical stuff on his layout. So I would urge you to take a look at what Roy is doing, because it's all good and very entertaining. There is Bang Junction. Bang got you a junction. Carl Braun. Hello, Carl. I hope the culinary world is fizzing as usual. And welcome into my cornucopia of Americana. There's the Denver and Rio Grande Western. This originally started out as a roundhouse model. Of course, Athon now own roundhouse, and they've updated the motor, enabled DCC to be put in it, and very, very pleasant. Runs almost silent. I like it. Obviously, the River Rossi is a bit growly. But they were very good with their plastic, River Rossi. Very, very good at moulding. You're quite welcome, Roy, anytime. There is a Sidetrack 77 Holly. Hello, Holly. Nice to see you. I hope all is well in Canada. I hope you're not snowed under anymore, and that you're getting out and doing your railroading stuff. Old Kemp Ranch has got a video out, so I'll be checking on that later. Does anybody know if Heathrow is back operating as normal? Apparently it is, from what I understand. Yes, I believe once they put out the fire on the transformer that blew up, there was a second transformer right by its side ready to take over, but obviously they had to shut the whole thing down while they beat the fire down. So from what I understand, it is back in operation. A choo-choo cappuccino. Well, there's my version of the cappuccino. Gold blend, actually. It's instant, but very satisfying. This is the point where I'll introduce some sounds to you. And there's Erich. Hello, Erich at Van den Eisenbahn. A very good morning to you too. Got a squeaky wheel on the River Rossi, but oh well, that happens. Here comes the 260. As you can see, I've toned down the sound on this one, so it's now a pleasant chuff rather than an overbearing, shed-busting noise. Right, I'll just speed this one up a bit. Because hot on its heels, I'll just shut that one up a bit, is this one, the Baldwin, is hot on its heels right behind it. Here comes the sound. Very pleasant sound. Oh, and there's James. Very good morning to you, James. Hope you are well, and I hope your dicky ticker is not playing up. I wish I had some Toronto, Hamilton and Buffalo stock, but alas, I have none. But I'm sure something will come up sooner or later in one of the toy fairs. So if it does, then I'll snap it up, James. Yes, Ivo, you are essentially correct, but I think it's a case of something is better than nothing. So let's go back to my old favourite. Very nice too. Yeah, I found it a little tough to get that one in complete synchronization at 4 chuffs a revolution. It's satisfying when it does work out, but it did take some time. It's not perfect, but it was as good as I could get it on the day. And then coming into view is I do like that. Again, I turned the sound down on this one. I think I overdid it a bit actually, but I think it works out better. I find it better if I'm straining to hear it than blown out of the shed by a huge sound. Right, I'll just slow that one down a bit because it's getting a little close to the other one. Let's just stop that one for a second. And I'll let them get a little distance between them before I start the other one off again. Now, what sound are you referring to? A cow? Oh, you mean the whistle? Well, I suppose there's only so much you can do, Ivo. Mr. Andrew D. King, a very good afternoon to you. Hello, and welcome in, as they say. That's the 20th Century Limited, being poured by Dreyfus Hudson. Shortly arriving behind you is a Baldwin 460 low boiler in Southern livery, number 1006. Yeah, I'll call that sound the cow, in honour of Ivo. On the same track, Andrew, I've got the Denver and Rio Grande Athens 260, which will be arriving shortly. In order to run 3 trains, obviously 2 of them are on the same track. Right, so we'll silent that one. We'll bring the other one in, and then you'll hear it on its approach. Which is arriving from your 6 o'clock position. Aha. Buffalo and Pittsburgh. Hello, Alan. I hope Scotland is as warm as ever. Rio Grande Western. Denver and Rio Grande Western. Denver. Isn't that the mile-high city? Always had a hankering to go to Denver. Not sure why, but I suppose it fits in nicely with Old Wild West Americana. Here comes the Dreyfus Hudson, which is a River Rossi example with a DCC chit in it. Suitably warmed up, it seems to be running like a sewing machine. Yeah, it is a nice colour. Here comes the other one. Oh, well, guys, here's the last of the coffee. Get him, Grandpa. 35:46. We've passed our peak, and the thumbs up are quite gratifying. Thank you all very much, folks. Right, here comes our other little favourite. I particularly like the ambience they've got with that whistle. There's a little bit of reverb in the background. So it's obviously been very well recorded from a distance. Excellent. There's Wesley. Hello, Wesley. I hope you are well this fine morning. Me? Yes, I'm fine. No sniffles or colds or anything likely to slow us down or make us feel poorly. Here comes the Jolly Dreyfus. That's a River Rossi locomotive, pulling something in the order of about 400 milliamps. But that's what happens with the older locomotives. Pulling the 20th Century Limited. Coming from behind you is a Baldwin low boiler 460, which sounds something like this. Okay, Maura's on the way out. Thank you, Maura, for coming. Always welcome, and it's great to see you. And that's that one muted. Any relation? I don't know if you've got any Irish blood in you, Andrew. That's a distinct possibility. Right, let's just grab. Here comes the Denver and Rio Grande as we follow around. There's some of my other Denver and Rio Grande stock in a slightly more yellow colour. These ones were kits from Roundhouse. They've all got a very similar yellow colour, but the ones I've been running are a little more orange. So let me just drag you back onto said computer, and there we are. Okay, well, thanks everybody for coming along to my little cornucopia of Americana. Great to spend a bit of time with you chewing the fat. And thank you for that, Simon. I'm glad you enjoyed the stream. Always a pleasure having your company and having met you in person. What a nice guy. There you go. I doff my cap to all of those who have come in and made the stream what it is. Thanks for coming, Anthony. Yeah, keep up the hard work. I know you're feeling still a bit poorly, but I'm sure that will fix itself over the weeks to come. Many thanks for everybody coming in, and I will catch up with you next week or in the streams. So everybody take care out there and do your stuff and follow your passions and enjoy your trains. And I will catch you all very soon. So everybody take care and adios for now, amigos.